Hi everybody, it's a Wednesday here at Northern Spy Golf Club, Townsend, Massachusetts. Derick's Daily Dose, volume 12. Today we're going to go over, I had some people that had emailed me and asked for, hey look, what are drills that I can be doing? How should I be practicing? How do I practice better? What's the most effective way to practice? So just put some time and effort in today. I thought it was a good topic to go over. For a lot of people, how they practice really is related to how much free time they have, how much desire they have to do it, and there's no template, right? So there are drills that that I execute, for myself when I do get out to practice, however infrequently that is, that I wouldn't suggest for other people just because of my tendencies. Those are drill sets that I've built up. And drills for other people that fight their tendencies that I wouldn't practice because they're not issues for me. So everybody, when it comes to drills and things you're working on, individual to individual, those things are going to vary. So I would strongly recommend spending time with a teacher and creating a game plan, creating what do I need to work on? What am I good at? What are my tendencies? What should my practice schedule be like, so that you can make progress in the areas and still retain and grow in other areas. So again, there's no right or wrong answer to this. I would say that I'll go over some tendencies that I see. I see a lot when people practice, just like younger, students or kids that are in school, if you cram for an exam, you're not going to have probably as much success on the exam. It's going to be hard to retain all that information at once. So you can't really practice in that fashion either. You can't go out and hit 150 golf balls one day and expect just to fix everything, and then the next time you walk out be good. Issues come up in that scenario. When you hit that many golf balls, there's fatigue, all of a sudden you start moving differently and certain bad habits happen. And realistically, what I see a lot is people in those, situations, they hit the same club over and over and over again. They're trying to grind something out. And the reality there is when you get on the golf course, if you're hitting the same club within 30 seconds of each other, it's usually not pretty good. It usually means that the first shot didn't go very far, or that the first shot went out of bounds. So you got to hit it again. Outside of that, you're putting 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes in between golf shots, and you're typically changing golf clubs. So strategically, when you practice, that would be a big suggestive point for me is make sure that you're putting time between your golf shots and you're really executing your pre-shot routine and alignment and you're picking targets and stuff of that nature. Make sure you're rotating your clubs properly, and that you're not hitting really more than 5 or 10 golf shots in a row with a specific club. I mean, when you're working on something in particular or specific, just trying to grind out a problem, repetition can help you get out of those things, can help you work on those things. So there are scenarios where you got to hit 15, 20, 30 shots in a row with a specific club. But, have in your practice schedule, have maintenance days where, you're kind of walking through your bag, and then have those days where you're really trying to grind out one particular thing, be it a specific club in your bag, be it a specific topic of the game. And really chart out your practice schedule for the week. So try and make short burst, numerous practice times. So if you can get out a couple times a week, and you put a little bit of time and attention into everything, I think you're going to be the most prepared when you get out on the golf course. And what is that? That is set up. All the things that we've gone over in these videos are things that you should be paying attention to. Setup, posture, takeaway, movements, kind of all of those things. I would strongly suggest when you do practice that, like I said, you take time, but you also mimic, on-course conditions. We talked about this in the mental piece to the game, is making sure that you whether it's I want to hit 3 shots, 3 drives in a row that don't go to the right of one pole or the left of another pole, and you start to put pressure on yourself, or you hit a couple shots at this, or maybe you play a hole fakely. Right now, it's a little bit weird. I hear a lot of people that have given positive feedback. This is great stuff. I can't wait to try it out, because we're limited in what we can do. We can't go play because the golf courses are closed, practice facilities closed. So a lot of people are really relegated right now into hitting balls into a net. You're relegated into hitting balls at your neighbor's house, or wiffle balls of some nature. That doesn't mean we can't work on things. So really focus hard on your setup and posture. Really focus hard on getting your phone back there and flipping it on. I mean, that's how I take these videos. It's propped up against a paint can, and I hit. It's not the most elaborate setup here. I don't have a video crew definitely in here doing it. So the production quality isn't great, but you can get an idea. If you can see yourself, you can get an idea of what you're doing. All right, my setup, is my spine straight? Am I in the right posture? How does my lower half look? Am I aligned properly, to my target? If you can do a lot on your right now on your setup, on your takeaway and positions, and just find a way to get those, whether they're small clips, small videos, screenshots, set up a mirror, anything in that nature, it's just going to make you more prepared when you actually are able to hit a golf ball, and then you can start to work on other things. So the majority of it is create a practice plan for the week. This day I'm going to spend this much time doing A, B, and C, and never ever work solely on one thing. If I get 30 minutes to practice, 15 minutes of it's going to be grinding, and then the other 15 minutes will be maintenance. So I'm making sure that I'm, if I have the opportunity to, that I'm putting time into my short game and into really every part of my game, so that I don't, you put all your time and effort into one thing, you progress over here, and then boom, you fall behind over here. So those are just a couple techniques. Some drills that I use that we haven't talked about that might be beneficial. I have a tempo drill. A lot of times when I get up to the driving range or on the golf course, and or you can feel it, it's like not right. It's typically because your body's not connected and you're out of sync. A great drill that I was shown, a couple years back, is essentially, if you take your 150-yard club and you try and hit it 100 yards with a full swing. It sounds relatively easy, but it's actually very difficult. Making a full motion. You're not making an abbreviated swing. You're making a full motion in this, and you're trying to really hit the ball 50, 60, 70% of what you would normally hit it. And what that does is it shines a light on your connection level. So if your body is lethargic when you slow down and your arms are overactive, you're going to hit shots fat and to the left. If your body's jumpy and your arms are a little bit lazy, you're going to hit thin shots and shots to the right. So if you slow everything down, what you'll do is you'll be able to really get your arms and your extremities and your body connected and working in sync, and then you can build your way up. So if you can hit a couple full shots with say your 7-iron to the 100-yard flag, and then you ramp it up, you can really gain that connection level and get better tempo. I think a lot of people, they're going at 100% all the time, and a lot of times we can make things work, but if you can't make it work at 60% or 70%, then you certainly can't make it work at 100%. So that's a good drill for me, especially when I get in trouble, fast twitch. I tend to move a little bit too quickly and rush through the motions. So that's a good drill on that front. And then lastly, we'll talk about the difference. I see a lot of people when they're warming up for a round treating it like a practice session, and that can't happen. You don't see NFL teams, NHL teams, NBA teams go through their warm-up and mimic one of their practices. They're just not the same. And the reason being is because you're trying to get prepared to play. So, in this environment, I see often people hit way too many golf balls, they tire themselves out, they get up there, they're trying to find something or work on something, before they get out on a golf course. And really, what you're trying to do in that scenario is you're trying to stretch, you're trying to get loosened up, and you're really trying to get a feel for what you have that day. So, When I practice before a round, I'll give myself about 30 minutes. I'll hit probably 15 balls at most. I'm really picking 3 clubs in my bag. I'm picking a short club, a middle club in my bag, and a long club. I'm trying to hit all of those, maybe 5 or 6, 4 or 5 times a piece, just to get loosened up. Stretch as much as you can, because what happens is, if you, in your golf swing, you're using rotation properly, and you get into a point where you're tight and you walk out and you're not in a, in a good environment, health-wise or rotation-wise, you'll start to under-rotate. You'll finish the golf swing with your arms and hands to the top, and all of a sudden these issues can start to creep up. So something I'll do when I'm stretching is just to make sure that we're really gaining the rotation piece to it with extension. We're trying to really loosen up our core muscles, our hips, our shoulders, our chest. Get those big muscles loosened up, so that when we get out there and we're playing, we're making sure everything is in the right place. In regards to short game, I'm gonna hit a couple chips. I'm gonna hit chips. Say I drop 3 balls down, I'm hitting it at different trajectories, so I'm trying to test myself to get different carry distances in my wedge shots there. And then what I'll do is I'll get on the putting green, and like I said in one of the previous videos, you want to turn around and if I'm uncomfortable with green speed because they're too fast, I'm going to go find fast putts so that I can kind of get myself recalibrated. If they're slow, I'm going to find slow putts so I can get myself recalibrated. But I really like to start is with short putts. I like to start with really short putts and make them. I want to watch the ball go in the hole so I gain confidence when I get on the golf course. And then I want to go to some longer putts, and I just want to get some speed out of it. So really, you're just trying to get yourself comfortable so that when you get on the golf course, you're ready. So don't treat those like practice sessions. Don't go out there searching for something, or I need to work on this before I get out there. You start grinding early, your mind starts working early, and it carries out to the golf course. So you want to be loose, you want to be ready to go, you want to be confident. So just treat those pre-round sessions differently than you would your practice sessions. As always, if you have any questions, or hey, look, what would be the best for me? I do A, B, and C. I'd be more than happy to help. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to work on really misses, right? So the most common misses: fat shots, thin shots, shanks, all of these common misses, and really the rationale behind why they take place. And then Friday we're going to do a little fitness. It's a little bit out of my realm, but I think we can touch on a couple of things fitness wise, especially with people stuck at home. Some pretty easy to do stuff to make sure that you're getting your body ready to play golf when we're ready to go. And that'll be the week. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, make sure if you haven't, subscribe, watch any of the videos you haven't. Hopefully you're getting good information out of it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks.